What up, y'all? This is Isaiah Fowler, founder of SWAV Eyewear and SWAV Agency. And I hope everybody is doing good today. I was thinking a lot, and I have a pretty good, interesting episode for you today. So hope it delivers, right? Hope it makes you think on a different level. Because something that I see is, I guess the topic is about content, right? And so a lot of times people think that, content doesn't matter. So I want to give you guys like some perspective on content from what I've seen, working with my clients and kind of seeing what content has done for them on different levels of their business, right? So I wrote it down here on this card. It says the intangibles of content, right? There's a lot of things that go on with content that people don't see, right? And those are actually things that could potentially change, the trajectory of the business. So when you start to think about it, even if you're running ads, right? Because ads are a really, really, really big thing. And it's like people think that you can just run ads and make money and that's it. But even from a perspective of running ads, you still need something. That something being content, right? Content does not get its full credit that it deserves on the level of importance, right? Content is literally the single most important thing, only if you're trying to do direct to consumer, right? Here's why. Let's say you have a product-based business and you're running ads. You're gonna need graphics, right? You're gonna need videos, and you're gonna need photos, and then you're gonna need good copywriting. So think about this. Graphics, photos, videos, and copywriting. That's all content. Written, photographic, and video. So the thing about it is, people think that they don't need to invest in this. Or they think that they can just put up a picture here and a picture there. But what starts to happen is people are like, I don't need to put out that much content. I could just run ads. But here's one thing I've learned. The more content you put out as a brand, like you have a product-based business and you put out content as a brand, this is how you build a brand. Your customer base sees the content. Over time, they start to really understand what you're actually doing. They start to really understand what you're actually selling besides the product. See, there's a lot of intangibles about content that people don't understand. When you think about it, back in the mid-1900s, the 50s, the 60s, it was TV and radio, right? Those were the major media outlets and newspaper. Now you got blogs, podcasts, YouTube, stuff like that. But those were the main three, and they controlled everything. And they were fighting to keep control of these media outlets because they understood the power of the media. Content is nothing but media being placed and distributed on a platform, right? So they understood the power of it. They understood if we can control, the TV networks, a majority of people are going to watch this episode, this TV show, this TV station, this TV channel, And then we can place a commercial there to sell a product, right? Now, over the years, it's gotten a lot more advanced. But what happens is you as a direct-to-consumer brand have an opportunity to get the same benefits that those TV stations had back in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, right? And a lot of times people think that putting out a video is stupid because it's like, I just put out one video and I only got 100 views on Instagram or whatever it is. But see, the long-term effects of those things are life-changing. And see, a lot of people, they don't value what they can't see. And they can't see the long-term benefits of the content because they haven't been doing it long enough to see, right? People do not value what they can't see. So you have to become a master at seeing what isn't visibly here and then committing to that, committing to the idea of that, committing to that vision, whatever that is, right? Because you start putting out content, just because you're putting out content, it may not be getting a lot of engagement, but there are people that are watching you. There are people that are watching your brand. There are people that are paying attention, and the content is bridging the gap between you as a brand selling whatever product and them as a consumer or an investor or a partner, right? You got to think about it. You can't run ads just to make money. Some people say that's bullshit, right? But when you're building a long-term brand, I'm not talking about just a drop shipping store to just make you money. That's different. I'm talking to the people and the individuals who are building brands. Always remember that, right? Those who are building something long-term sustainable, that one day, if they position themselves properly, they can sell it, right? The long-term effects of that content are super, super, super valuable because you're going to attract people that you never would have to your brand if you weren't putting out the content, right? If you weren't putting out the content, those people would not know about you, right? Example, when I first started my eyewear company, I had already built up a personal brand to a certain point, right? I got my first inventory run. We got our product from China. Horrible, right? Horrible product, not good at all. So I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do now? But I already had been putting out content. I had a podcast. I had like 350 episodes. If you know, you know, right? So what happens is, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do now? I find a new manufacturer, go fly out there, I go meet him, right? Then I'm like, okay, I need another $12,000. Okay, how we gonna make this happen? But what I had to remember was, I was talking to one of my homeboys. He tells me, he says, why don't you do a Kickstarter? At the time, I was like, man, I don't want to seem like I'm begging for money. That was pride, right? That's a whole nother thing. Don't allow pride to get in the way of what you really could do that could change the change the projection of your business. But so I'm like, okay, I committed to the idea of that. I couldn't see it, right? In the beginning, but then I had to say, okay, how am I going to do this? Then I saw it, even though it wasn't physically here in the physical, right? Then I committed to the idea of that, the concept of that, the vision of that. And then I started, the whole time I was in Greece, we was recording content. Then I took that content and I made a video, right? Like a vlog video. And then I made another video. A month later, I launched a Kickstarter campaign. Now that Kickstarter campaign, it was like $10,300, $10,400 or something like that. But that was enough to get our collection, right? With our new manufacturer. But if I never would have been putting out content years before this, I wouldn't have had the people familiar with me, right, long enough to trust that what I'm putting out and what I'm doing is actually real and going to happen, right? So content allows you to build the brand and to build trust, right? And these are very, very, very important things if we're talking about building brands. I'm not saying you have to vlog. Now, people do love that, but I'm not saying you have to. But what I am saying is, from a content perspective, your brand needs to be putting out content. Because down the road, the brand that puts out the most content is going to be the most visible. Think about that. The brand that puts out the most content in the future is going to be the one who's most visible. And the one who's most visible is going to get the best shot at being the most successful and being the biggest, right? Think about people you may see on Instagram. Who do you see most? Most likely, they're making a good amount of revenue because you see them often, right? If you see them often, you're more likely to purchase from them, whatever they're selling. You may have not even been sold on them or liked them, but if you see them long enough, in your mind, you're going to be like, let me even see what it's about, right? You'll purchase something from somebody literally just to see what it's about. Think about that. That's the power of the content. The content pulls you closer to a purchase. So a lot of people say, why are my online sales not where I want them? Well, because most likely, if you're direct to consumer, you got to be putting out content. You have to be putting out content, right? You have to be branding. Content allows the brand to be built. Nike puts out content. Adidas puts out content. The biggest brands in the world put out content to sell their products. That's how you do it. You put out content. The content resonates with a group of people that are familiar with the brand. It sells the product. You can get first-time customers or you can get returning customers. That's a whole podcast that we're going to do as well, right? But you really want to think about these things. Don't shy away from content because content will change your life. It's not about being shy. It's not about, oh, I'm an introvert. Do you want to change your life or not? Point blank, period. And I'm not even saying you have to get in front of the camera. But what I am saying is your brand needs to have a presence that, you know what I mean, on the internet, on social media, putting out content so people could understand what you sell, what the brand is about, what's the story, what's the narrative, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Feel what I'm saying? So those are the intangibles of content. And those are the things that I really want you to think about as you are growing your brand. Of course you can do ads. Of course you can do influencer marketing. But I'm talking about to build a brand, to build something sustainable, to build something that people are familiar with and that people really rock with. You really, really, really gonna have to sit here and say, what's our content strategy, right? Long term too. You gotta invest into that stuff because that's what's gonna change your life forever. Because there's a residual effect that content has, right? The more content you put out over time, the more people are gonna trust you over anybody else. And that's one of the keys and one of the secrets about content. So go put out that content. If you want help on a strategy, then definitely hit me up and we can make that happen. And, always remember that everything you do in life, it starts with a vision, and it's really about sustainability. That's the key about all of this. Because what good is getting the money today or this year, and in a year and a half from now, you back down, right? You back at square one. It's about sustainability. So always remember, everything starts with a vision, and I'm gonna holler at y'all next time. Peace.